Hi there, welcome to the Birdwing Paper Designs YouTube channel. I'm Leah and today I'm sharing how I made this bright and colorful Mother's Day card. This card was made with a couple fun techniques. The first one was creating a stenciled and heat embossed background. I used the butterflies and flowers layering decorative mask and granny apple green ink to ink blend the flowers on the background. I started with the larger mask and added another layer of green with the detailed mask. By adding 2 layers of the same green ink, you will get a pretty tone-on-tone look. And don't worry if your blending looks a little messy on the edges, because we will cover it up at the end. Before adding the gold embossed splatters, dust the surface with a little powder so the embossing doesn't stick to the inked image. Stamp the splatter in Versamark and coat it in gold embossing powder. If some of the powder is still stuck to the image, then just brush it off with an old, dry paintbrush. I keep this brush handy for all of my heat embossing. Now use a heat tool to melt the embossing powder, and the result is a shiny gold splatter. Since I have all the embossing tools out, I'm going to quickly emboss the greeting in white on black paper. Don't forget to use the dry paintbrush to remove any stray powder. Don't you just love watching the embossing powder melt? It's so cool, and I will never get tired of it. Now I'm just going to take a moment and fussy cut the greeting. Next up is the second technique that uses the new mother of pearl specialty paper and Stampin' blends. I used the daffodil dies to cut 2 petals for each flower. Each one was fully colored with the light Magenta Madness Stampin' blend. Then I added a hint of dark in the center. I have a spritzer filled with isopropyl alcohol and I lightly spray the paper with it. I use an old power tool to spread the color around. I made 4 sets of pink petals and put them to the side to dry. I'm going to use the same technique but with granny apple green to make the leaves. Now that everything is dry, the flowers can be assembled. I use a drop of glue to adhere the petals and finish them off with a Magenta Madness die-cut center and an opal embellishment. Finally, I cut the green petals apart to make 3 leaves. The background was adhered to a Magenta Madness card base with the flowers and leaves arranged on top. Be sure to place a flower to cover that smudge. Now all that's left is to add the gold twine and the Mother's Day greeting. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this card and try out the technique with the mother of pearl paper. All of the supplies are listed in the description. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and join me next time.